Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, everybody. I'm Preacher Moss, host of the SOS, the Shout Out Show. Hope you're doing well on this first day of Ramadan. Folks, the first day of Ramadan for some, other days it might be tomorrow. We don't know. I'm not here to have that argument like we have every year. My point is, Ramadan Mubarak, Ramadan Kareem. We're in the blessed month of Ramadan. Don't freak out. I am not in jail. Okay, I'm not in prison. I want to set the tone, if you will, for our topic today, which is faith behind bars. Now, before we get started, I want to give a shout out to some people. I want to give a shout out, of course, to BeFinanciallyIndependent.com. I'll give a shout out to Bayan Islamic Graduate School. I want to give a shout out to everybody who's been really, really supporting us. I want to also give a shout out to Olive Branch Muslim Family Services, who's been supportive for day one. So listen, everybody, let's get into it because we have a packed show. We have a grand premiere. If you think I'm a little excited right now, we have a grand premiere video by Taurus Mateen. Now, if you don't know Taurus Mateen, Taurus was the bass player in my comedy special, Love Supreme and Anatomy of Gratitude. And he has come up with a gift, if you will, for Ramadan. We're going to figure out how we can get it out to everybody. I'm going to find the link or whatever. We're going to get it out because this is a beautiful song. Aside from that, if you're coming on the show for the first time, this is where we all started. We started with Ramadan. The Shout Out Show started on the first day of Ramadan. Here we are almost a year later back on the first day of Ramadan. Got to give that some love. That's a blessing, brothers and sisters. And as well, if you're on the show for the first time, listen, it's a new experience. We're not new at giving you a new experience. Listen, get yourself in the comment section. Let us know who you are, what you're feeling, what you're thinking, because we got a whole lot of people that do that on the daily, on the regular. And we will be introducing those people to you momentarily. Now, here's the other thing. If you don't mind and you're coming on the show for the first time, please check out the notification button, the subscription button, the like button, all those buttons, okay? And if you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. You are a part of the Shout Out Show family, irregardless. So, I am going to bring some people into the fold here. I'm excited. We got my Ramadan crew. Everybody's listening. This is amazing. This is amazing. This is nothing short of just a major blessing. If you told me we'd be here another Ramadan, I might not have believed you. I mean, I said it's possible, but it wouldn't be in a strong possible. So before we get started, thank you. We appreciate you, and we want to make sure that we get everybody on the show. So who we got today? I know who we got, but we're going to shout them out. We got Sister Ree coming on. Sister Ree is, of course, the craft services dietitian for the Shout Out Show. If you are somewhere and you're not eating well, call Sister Ree up. She got a recipe that'll make you feel fantastic. Sister Ree, speaking about feeling fantastic, we hope that you're feeling fantastic. And I have a feel good, fantastic song for everybody today. So don't turn away. I got a feel good, fantastic story. And even our subject matter, even though it's faith behind bars, it is a celebration. Because you know what, in Ramadan, just things don't go wrong. Revelations are all about, and you got to holler about them. You got to talk about them. Okay, who we got next? Man, we got my little brother who's fasting with me today, brothers and sisters. Day one. My day one from day one is actually fasting on day one. That's Johnny L. Thomas, my main man, my little brother from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, home of, I don't know, I don't know, but forget about that. He's my main man, my little brother, fasting with me. He doesn't have to fast. He's not compelled. He's not Muslim, but you know what? He's very Muslim-ish because he's hanging out with your brother for a long time, and he keeps me on my game. Stick in there, little brother. You know, we're going to get the dry mouth and the cotton mouth and breath going to smell like old shoe leather. But you know what? We've been doing this for a long time. Ramadan Kareem to you too. Who we got next? Altaf Rashid, giving Ramadan Mubarak to the SOS family. He is our official ambassador from Canada for the Shout Out Show. Thank you so much for coming on, brother. And as always, he comes equipped, giving blessings, telling people have a blessed Ramadan. Thank you so much. I got a tune for you. Everybody, don't even move. I'm so excited. You know what I'm excited about? I'm just seeing another Ramadan. You know, people, sometimes we take things for granted. We think we're going to see another Ramadan or we're going to make up a day for fasting. I want to say, look, don't put yourself in that situation. Whatever it is that's put in front of you by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that say do it to the best of your ability and take care of it then. Don't put it up because we don't know what's going to be happening. As much as I talk about, I got a show, I have a song I'm going to play for you. I don't even know if I'm going to be here for the song. So I'm just trying to move it along. All talk. Thank you for joining us, brother. Next up, we got Sister Aika. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. She's sending a Ramadan Kareem. May Allah accept our fast and prayers to the most blessed month of the year. See, this is what I'm talking about. But here's the deal. People on the Shout Out Show have been doing this all year. They've been doing it all year. It's just that Ramadan gives us even more opportunity to do it and to get more blessings for it. Who we got next? Thank you, Sister Aika, for coming on. And we have our consultant producer, Sister Sultana Whitfield, who makes this thing go, 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 go. And when I do things that are not appropriate, she says, no, 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 no. So listen, thank you again, Sister Sultana, who's working the back. You see my hands? That means I'm not touching the computer. It means I'm not operating anything. She has grown so proficient about working the back end that, all I have to do is sit here and talk and be creative and look good. And I'm trying to do all those things. All right. So listen, every once in a while, a song comes through. I get a little something. So I'm gonna get to our subject too. Our subject I'm going to get to, but I want to bring this up because things are moving on the Shout Out Show. We're not going to be fluid and da-da. We're going to enjoy ourselves for the time we have. We're going to enjoy ourselves for the time we have. And every once in a while, my brother, musician extraordinaire, Taurus Mateen, sent me something today. And it just tells, I sent him a Ramadan Mubarak. He hits me back with this jewel, brothers and sisters. It's called the Ramadan song. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to play it for you. It's real short. I would like to find out what you guys think about it, actually, and tell me if you like it. I liked the song. I really, really like the song. So this is a Shout Out Show grand premiere music debut. It's called the Ramadan song by Taurus Mateen, my brother. I think y'all gonna like it. Oh, wait a minute. We got Sister Jasmine Fruits. Ramadan Kareem, Sister Jasmine, all the way from over in the UK doing big things. Oh, look at the people. Samir, my main man, we're here for a good time, not for a long time. Can I steal that? Samir? I'm asking permission. See, I'm not a good thief. But I like the way we're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. Ramadan Kareem, brother, good to see you. You've been riding with me a long time, man. Big ups to the family in Kansas City. All right, Samir, let me know what you think of this song. This is man, I don't want to say certain things while the sun is up, but I'm like, this was a piece of work. So everybody, I want you to lock in, turn up your volume just a little bit, not for me, but turn up your volume just a little bit because I'm introducing to you a world premiere to the Shout Out Show, the SOS. Brothers and sisters, I present to you Taurus Mateen's The Ramadan Song.
Mommies and daddies fasting all day. It's Ramadan. It's Ramadan. We reverence all the one who creates us Allah. It's Ramadan. Drinking in His love, it keeps us full all day. And in the night we pray. Thank you for helping us through another day. We celebrate. It's Ramadan. It's Ramadan. Our guiding book, the Quran, was revealed in Ramadan. To the Prophet Muhammad, his biggest miracle. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. First 10 days, we pray for mercy, for life to be good to us. Second 10 days, we pray for forgiveness. Apologize to our Lord for the wrong that we have done. Last 10 days, we pray for protection. Save us from the fire and dark. Let's free ourselves from our earthly desires and strengthen our hearts and minds. Mommies and daddies fasting all day. It's Ramadan. It's Ramadan. Remembrance of the one who creates us, Allah. It's Ramadan. Drinking in His love, it keeps us full all day. And in the night we pray. Thank you for helping us through another day. We celebrate. It's Ramadan. It's Ramadan. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. 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 Mommies and daddies fasting all day. It's Ramadan. It's Ramadan. Remembrance of the one who creates us, Allah. It's Ramadan. Drinking in His love, it keeps us full all day. And in the night we pray. Thank you for helping us through another day. We celebrate. It's Ramadan. It's Ramadan. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah.
Man, what y'all think? I thought that joint was awesome. What'd you think? You like the spirit behind it? All right, Samir. Anybody else want to speak on it? Alhamdulillah, I loved it. That's from Sister Satana. What you got for me? Let me ask JT and Ree. What y'all think? And don't be shy. Hey, don't be shy. All right. I guess everybody's quiet on it. What do you think, Sister Jasmine? I really enjoyed the song. Altaf, what you feeling? Okay, well, I will. You guys can figure out what you want to do about the song. I'm going to get into the show, what we have left of it. Inshallah. Oh, Sister Ike said, beautiful song. Sister Maxine said, fabulous. Sister Reed said, different. Altaf said, it's going to be stuck in my head. That made, man, when people make songs like that, that's what it is. That's what it is. So I want to get into the subject today, which is faith behind bars. As you heard in the song, the first 10 days are really focused on mercy. The second 10 days of Ramadan are based on forgiveness, focus on forgiveness. The last 10 days, I'm sorry, is focused on protection. Normally when we talk about inmates, the thing that jumps out is forgiveness. They want forgiveness for something. And I understand, people make mistakes. Let's start there. People make mistakes. Okay, we all make mistakes. The difference is not everybody has to serve crime for their mistakes. Not everybody's mistakes necessarily break the law. They might break, like a moral law, but doesn't necessarily break legal law. And I want to get into aspects of legality, but I want to get into the space of talking about, forgiveness the other way. When you give somebody forgiveness, you are showing them mercy. And this whole idea of faith behind bars, a lot of you guys know that I perform at prisons. Let me tell you why I perform around prisons. For the last couple of years before this pandemic, I would do shows at the prison. I never really talked about the reason why I really do the shows at the prison. The reason I do the shows at the prison is because I see a lot of those guys in me before they went in prison. And a lot of those guys, we were confused. We were confused. We lacked guidance in some regards. Sometimes we lack confidence. And we found ourselves in situations where our decisions led us to bad outcomes. And when I say bad outcomes, It means that it was not an outcome that could be fixed with your mother and father. It wasn't an outcome that could be fixed with people who love you and know you. It was fixed with outcomes that were legal mandates, where the decision about life, death, motion, mobility was really tied into pragmatism. People didn't know you. A law determined where you went. Now, I'm not here to make excuses for anybody. When you break the law, you break the law. We all understand that. But when you break the law, something's been established. A precedent has been established for a wrong that's been done. And it's also been a precedent that's been established for correction. And sometimes one of the biggest things our brothers and sisters behind cell doors or behind prison walls really need is mercy to initiate correction. Let me say that again. They need mercy to initiate correction. And that mercy that initiates correction a lot of times is the thing that leads them to growing their faith. It's always a story about when guys go in prison and all of a sudden they become Muslim or they become Christian. And, there's a lot of backstory to that. But nobody really talks enough about the space that mercy plays. The space that mercy plays. I can't really totally relate the feeling to you brothers and sisters about standing in front of a group of men that look like me, that came from places I came from, that are articulate. Some are articulate, some are not articulate, some are well-read, some of them are illiterate. It doesn't matter. But what I know is that in their arms pumps blood like myself. They have a heart like myself. They have eyes like myself, and doggone it, they have feelings. And in that space where I understand they have feelings, there's an allowance for mercy. And I ask them all the time, brother, how can I help you? You know what I'm saying? I say, how can I help you? And they say, brother, pray for me. I say, why? I said, because I'm never going home. There are some guys who are never going home. Now, I've faced a lot of tough audiences, okay? I've faced a lot of tough audiences. I've never been face-to-face with a group of guys that when the show is over, they can't talk about the show. They have to go back to their cells. When the show is over, they can't tell their friends and families about the show. They can only talk about this isolated incident. And this isolated incident is not even the show. It's this community. And I began to understand that the comedy show allows for them, in some regards, to humanize themselves and have community. Now, this is not over anybody's head, especially mine. But I want to make sure it's not over our head, but it's not over our hearts. To understand the importance of mercy. Faith behind bars, brothers and sisters, is active discipline. It's active discipline. I liken it, to our grandparents and great grandparents who will wake up every day, particularly African American, Latino. They will wake up every day understanding that the laws were not there to protect them. They had to show up to places that they were not wanted. They had to work for wages that were below what they were worth. They had to put up with injustices. And why did they do it? Why did they do it? It was more than the money. It was an exercise, and you guessed it, faith. And sometimes we forget those lessons. I know myself, every once in a while I do, and I have to check myself before I wreck myself. My point, brothers and sisters, is that we all have an opportunity to engage this. Now, we may not be able to go to the prisons and things like that and visit, but we can, at this point in time, this first day of Ramadan, I'm going to ask everybody to take a little bit of that mercy you have, put it in a dua, put it in a prayer. You don't need to know the prisoners. You need to know their names. You need to know their offenses. We're not talking about that. We're talking about a higher level of thinking in the scope of we wish them wellness. We wish them wholeness in the midst of a situation that strips all of that away. One of my best friends, I met in 1997. His name was Ahmad Bilal. And Ahmad came home my first year of teaching. His nephew was a co-worker of mine. And he said, my Uncle Bilal is a Muslim. I said, really? He said, yeah, he's coming home. And I met Bilal, and we were friends till he passed away. And one of the things I always said about Bilal is it doesn't matter where he was up, where he was down. He found a space, brothers and sisters, where he give that mercy, where he can show love and compassion, to people he didn't know. And I'm asking us in some regards, you know what? Let's show that to these brothers who are behind bars, because you know what? It increases their faith. I can't tell you how powerful it is, and maybe you guys know because everybody has their own experience with faith and mercy. But I can tell you, when somebody shows you mercy, knowing that you may have been dead wrong, knowing you may have been incorrect, knowing you would have been rude or inappropriate, when somebody steps back and shows you mercy, it makes me realize that in the world, there are possibilities and there's potential for me to be a good person because somebody showed me that they were a good person. The incarceration system, the penal system is criminal. It's dehumanizing. And a lot of times, we hear these things, we see the outbreak of it or the overlay of it because we have a lot of police shootings and things like that. And that is, almost a criminalization of Black life and Latino life or impoverished life or oppressed life. And we see that on our TVs and we go, that's horrible. In the prison system every day, it happens. Every day, it happens. There's an inmate. He has a show on YouTube called Jay Williams, Let's Live Life. And Jay Williams, I don't know him. He's from the Virginia area, around Richmond, I believe. He's a white guy, done a lot of time in prison. But I'm going to tell you, Jay Williams tells it like it is. His prison stories are truthful. There's a story he told about Muslims, about 5%ers and Sunni Muslims in the prison. And he starts out by saying, people thought that the 5%ers were racist. And, he gives some stuff. He was like, he had a friend who was in the 5%ers. And he said he had another guy, he's a white guy who he joined the ABs, the Aryan Brotherhood. And one day he said, I can't come to an Aryan Brotherhood meeting. And he said, because my wife and my kids are coming. And they told him you better be at that meeting. And he bucked them. He didn't show up for the meeting. And these guys commenced to beat him up when he's in his cell when they caught him. You know what saved that guy's life? It was the 5% Nation brothers and the Muslim brothers who came down to defense of a guy who was in the Aryan Brotherhood with a tattoo. And somehow, some way, they said, you will not beat on this man anymore. And if you choose to do so, you have to come through us. It sounds violent, but this is a lesson in mercy. Even when you're dealing with someone who spiritually and philosophically you are diametrically opposed to, you can still find mercy. Now, if they can do it in prison, why can't we do it? That's my challenge. So listen, we're going to take a short break. I'm going to be back. Hey, what's going on, Brother Carter? Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ramadan Kareem. We're going to be right back. We have some commercials and stuff. We have some sponsors. I have a special thing I'm doing right now, but I will be right back. Hold your thoughts. Yo, assalamu alaikum. I'm Preacher Moss, comedian extraordinaire, but I like to add a new title to my name. I'm Professor Preacher Moss. You know why? Because I just graduated. Wait a minute. Let me get this out of here. This is it. Okay. I'm Professor Preacher Moss, and it's come through the courtesy and the blessing of the Muhammad Ali Scholarship, which came through Bayan Islamic Graduate School. Now, listen, I know a lot of you people are thinking, can I do it? Yes, you can do it. This is the part where I don't know what I'm supposed to say. It's easy. It's not easy. Listen, it was easy to get this degree. Trump will be a mufti. I digress. Listen, though, for you brothers and sisters that are interested, go to bayanonline.org, and you could be like me. Put yourself in the picture for Islamic education. Wait a minute, there's the picture right there. Sound like them, everybody. Take care. Preach them off. So in this space about mercy in its first 10 days, I would like for all of us, if possible, to make du'as for the brothers and sisters that are behind bars. Some will come home, some will not come home. And even when some of them come home, they're not going to come home in the shape, in the fashion that makes them productive or gives them success in the world. Therefore, we don't want to take any chances. Start your mercy calls right now. Make your mercy du'as right now. And I also say it's important to show them mercy, because when they come home, when situations are difficult, when they're stressful, we want to make sure we've shown them examples whereby, despite all those things, they can show mercy to the people around them. All right. So look, what are you guys thinking about mercy? What are you thinking about mercy? I gave us a spot. This I'm not in jail, just so y'all know. I don't need to bail out. But I'm going to tell you something about going to jail. Jail is the place that has the least mercy in the world. The least mercy in the world. And when you think, oh, it can't get any worse, prison is number 2. So this is important. And I'm going to add this little thing, and then I'm going to keep it moving because, I want to make sure our shows are accordingly 30 minutes. If you know somebody that's gone to jail, understand the system has that narrative with that individual. The system has that narrative with that brother or sister. But your mercy can still be used and utilized in finding out what his family needs or what her family needs. Writing letters, sometimes even talking to lawyers. Not so much that you get them off, but sometimes we get them moved to places that are a little bit more appropriate for their behavior. I've done it before. I've made recommendations, and as much as people may stigmatize them for breaking the law, a lot of people break the law. A lot of people break the law. These are just the guys and girls that get caught for breaking the law. Are they any less equal? Are they any less, privileged, if you will, to have mercy? Think about that. Think about that. So while you're thinking about it, brothers and sisters, I want to shout out one of our sponsors, our Ramadan sponsor. That would be BeFinanciallyIndependent.com. Again, that's BeFinanciallyIndependent.com. If you do not want to go to the website and you're old school and you're living in the 1970s, you can pick up the phone, your rotary phone, and call 1-800-679-3175. Again, that's 1-800-679-3175. Again, BeFinanciallyIndependent.com. So as we close, my brothers and sisters, the first day of Ramadan, I said, the first 10 days are focused on mercy. We may revisit this concept a couple times. We may not revisit it at all. This is, brothers and sisters, an opportunity for us to just be real. The thing about Ramadan, they said that the devil is chained up in hell for 30 days. 30 days. That being the case, it's 30 days for us to get our affairs in order. Maybe, in the example that I talked about before, maybe you don't have to deal with a person who's in jail. You may have to deal with a person who's in their feelings. You may have to deal with a person that's in their mind, not in a good place. And it may not be jail physically for that individual, but it might be jail mentally or spiritually. And even then, your mercy becomes that much more important, that much more encouraging, that much more valuable. So reach out, because faith beyond bars, of course, there's these bars, but then there's the bars in here and there's the bars in here. Make sure you reach out, brothers and sisters. Remember, Ramadan 30 for 30. We got 29 left. I'm your host, Preacher Moss of the SOS, the Shout Out Show. God bless you. And inshallah, I'll see you tomorrow. Remember, though, Ramadan is here. Big shout out to Taurus Mateen. Love that song, man. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hey everybody, this is your brother Preacher Moss. Listen, I hope that you enjoyed your Shout Out Show experience. We'll be back with the next show, the next Shout Out Show. A simple ask before you go, please help your brother out. Click that subscribe button, click that notify button, and I'll see you again on this side of the microphone. You probably wonder what that smell is. That's me. I smell good. And the reason I smell good is because I use oils from ShOUT. So I'm not saying you can't smell good. I'm not even saying you stink. I'm saying you have the opportunity to smell exquisite. Check out ShOUT.com for some of the best oils and scents in town.